Hey guys, welcome to Alejandro's podcast. It's a Saturday, good day to start it off, February 8th, 1:06 p.m. And I'm here with my good friend Douglas Garcia, teammate, great old friend, and one of the best plugs in New York City to get anything you want. How are you, man?
I'm good, I'm a little tired. Friday was a long day for me of reselling, waiting on lines, and today I decided not to do it. So I'm well. How are you?
I'm great, bro. What'd you get Friday? What'd you get?
Oh, Friday there was a Nike sportswear shoe called Plums, and people going crazy for it. And I heard in Harlem, right in Jackson Heights, there were 100 people, and the NYPD had to shut it down.
Oh,
And I was in Fifth down in Soho, and there was over 100 people, but I was able to get ticket number 37 and get the shoe.
yeah. How many pairs you got?
I was only able to get one, well, being sold because I had people that were supposed to help me, but they ended up not being able to at last minute, so I was only able to get one pair.
How does that affect you when people just last minute give you this I can't do it? How do you feel about that? And like how does it really affect you money wise, financially, and mentality wise? Like does it make you say, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore?
I was thinking about that today in the morning because I realized I was like, damn, I could have made more money, financially. If I had those two other people with me, I would have had three pairs instead of just one. So I was like, it sucks because I put a lot of hard work into it, and I put like that mindset of message people and give them that favor so they can make money as well. It may not be a lot, maybe like $40, $50 just to help me, but it's a fun experience.
Yeah.
So like when they tell me no last minute, it kind of really sucks because I know that, how am I gonna get a second pair? Knowing that there's a lot of other people there at that line. So it does financially hurt a little, but mentally it doesn't, because I know that there's going to be another drop, let's say the following week, that I can make more money. So mentally I would say no, but financially just a little it hurts.
So let me tell you this: how did you get started with all this? How did this ever come to? How did the pieces fall together to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna start reselling stuff. I'm gonna start reselling shoes, shirts. How did this ever come to? How does this experience? What happened?
Well, it all started back in middle school when I was in 7th grade, when I had a friend that he used to wear Bape, Supreme, Jordans, and I would look up to him and I'd be like, wow, I wish I could wear these type of clothing and these type of sneakers. So what ended up happening was that as I ended up getting a job, a 9 to 5, 2018, November 2018, I decided a few months later, when I turned 17, 2 weeks after my birthday in April of 2019, I decided I'm going to invest in this business. I'm going to try to resell. If it goes well, then that's amazing. If it goes bad, well then, I tried. I experienced something in life, which is probably the most important thing you have to do in life, is experience new things.
Of course. So let me tell you this, bro. Back then, when I was younger, that was also a thing, but not to this extent. Because I know nowadays there's many, many different brands. Not just shoes now. It's just shirts. You can buy Supreme. You can even buy bricks. So that's crazy. But now back in my day, we used to have buying and selling Facebook groups, and people used to do that a lot. Was that ever something that you tried, or you never got to try that when that time was popping?
Well, at that time, I know about that time because I hear OGs talking about it in the resale game, about Facebook groups and how, social media now has really influenced the market. Like, you have your StockX, you have your GOAT, you have your Instagram, where sellers can that's their platform to just sell and reach local people. Well, for me, I never really got into it because I didn't have the money. Like I said, I started legit 9 months ago, and like for somebody that's in this business for 9 months, I've accomplished a lot.
Of course you did, yeah. I saw that growth, and I was very proud of that. And I was like, wow, it reminded me of my younger self, and I reminisced, damn, like this I used to do this back then, but at a different level. Your level was way above where I've started. But I also started at a very, very young age. And I had a friend. I wasn't the one that bought the supplies. See, in your case, you are the one that buys it. My friend, he would have plugs that like at Image or Foot Locker, he would have several pairs. And he needed me for two reasons: for the protection and to bring my crew around so nothing happens to him, and two, it's like to get to talk and, hey, my friend is selling these shoes brand new, receipt fresh, with the box, everything included, and we'll go to you. So that's one of the coolest things I learned. But I do see that. When you do meetups or sessions to get and sell your shoes, do you bring anybody? Do you come by yourself? How do you do this?
Well, I've heard about how back then when reselling was, not as big, you could say, there was a lot of scamming, a lot of people getting robbed when they would meet up with somebody. But I think everything has sort of evolved through reselling. Now it's like you can meet somebody and you kind of have that sense where like nothing really bad is going to happen. I guess like reselling has become something where you don't really see fights as much. You don't really see someone getting stabbed for a pair of shoes. Like it's something uncommon, you could say, now in reselling compared to how it was back then. So like when I meet up somebody, I have my meetup spot. I go to Queen Center Mall and I like have an extent. You could say it's not really like a background check, but it's more like getting to know the person through text and getting that vibe, that a good vibe from that person. Because even if it is through text, you get that certain vibe from somebody. Like is it a bad vibe? Is it a good vibe? So like when I do meet up with somebody, I really have that vibe where like, okay, this person's safe. I can go alone. And let's say somebody that like I feel like they're older, right? Let's say I've sold to like 25, 30-year-olds sometimes, right? And I have to meet them up. I do bring a homie with me, just so you can be
just
there.
In case, you never know. God forbid.
Yeah.
So what's funny about this is, I find it funny because have you had any funny experiences, and do your parents know? Like, does your family, your cousins say anything about it? So I'm gonna bounce back. When you say something, I'm gonna tell you the craziest story that happened to me.
All right. So when I first started, I told my dad because I had to, right? Because I can't go out midnight to the city alone, right? Especially when I was first starting in April, in 2019, I didn't know anybody. It was just me hustling and grinding to get a pair, right? So when I talked to my parents about it, they were into it, which I was very surprised that they immediately said yes. Because I was like, I thought they would say no, they would question me as to why I'm gonna do this, because it's not your average job. You're over here waiting in line for a pair of sneakers. Some people think it's crazy. People ask you when you're on a line, oh, what is this for? And you're like, oh, it's for a pair of sneakers. And they look at you and they're like, oh, this for a pair of sneakers. What's the point? Because some people just don't know this side of reselling. It's like it's like in your own world. It's big, but not many people know about it. So I'd say I was accepted by my parents to do this, and they gave me that head start to be able to put my mind to something I really wanted to do. And I think when you really think about it, when a parent has their kid ask them, right, express themselves, I think it's important for a parent to listen and to say, okay, if you want to do this, go ahead and I will support you. I think that's very important for a parent to do.
Yeah, you're a very lucky guy, man, to have these type of parents. God bless them. God bless you.
Thank you.
And good thing that nothing ever happened to you, God forbid. And well, you're safe and you're great and you're doing great business. Has anything funny, anything ever dumb happened to you, occurred while you were doing one of these meetups?
Well, like when you're online, it's pretty funny because like you meet people every day. Like on Friday, I met, I could say, 6, 7 new people I've never would have met in my life. And then it's always funny because you're on the line, you're alone sometimes. I was alone on Friday. So like just meeting this random person is like the best thing ever. Like you could just like, and you vibe like that.
And how so?
Like through sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just vibe through sneakers. And it's just like, you could say it's a life experience and it's just fun. And then 10 a.m. hits, you go in the store, all of you get your pair, and then what happens after? Do you just not talk to the person? No, like you ask for their Instagram, you end up going to other meetups, other lines, and it just becomes that vibe where it's like, I just met a new person, a new experience, and I think that's so nice to just meet somebody new every day.
I can't say I don't really have the experience because I was privileged that my friend would hook it up, so I don't know the waiting in line type of thing, but I would meet people and it would be kind of cool. But most of the times, these guys look like they were not friendly. So most of these guys I didn't really have a connection with. But the crazy thing is your parents are very supportive. In my case, I had to hide that. I didn't know how to tell them, like, oh my God, they're not gonna support me. They're gonna freak out. They're gonna be like, what, a shoe? You're selling shoes? So what I first did is I had one of these best friends. His name is Brian. Shout out to Brian Rodriguez if you're watching this. He was one of my best friends. He literally lived a block away from me, and then I just had to take it right. hit the corner. I took a right. He was right there, and we were like best friends. And then one day, he said, let's start selling shoes as well. So like, I lost my other connection, and I tried with him. And then when I would bring home shoes, I would say, my mom would say, hey, why are you bringing so many shoes home? Like, oh, my friend don't want them anymore. He gave them to me. She said, oh, okay. And she gave me another one, and I had another pair. So she's like, how about these? She's like, I said, he just doesn't want them anymore. And then I couldn't keep using that excuse because then I would bring in 4 pairs and 6 pairs. So I had to hide my shoes. And back then I had this girl that I would leave my shoes at her place. So she would just have boxes and boxes of shoes waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just take these out. I'm gonna sell these today. So it was so funny that. And then one day my mother eventually, she got so mad. She found out what I did. I said, Mom, like, where are my shoes? I looked at my shoe rack, and she said, you should know. I'm like, why? She's like, I sold them for you. I'm like, you sold them for me? Bro, I'm telling you, I wanted to cry. I had my black toe 14s. I had all the 11s, like size 8.5 and 9. I had my 1s. I had Carmines, my powder blues, and then I had like a nice rack of shoes. And then I never creased them. They were so nice and spotless. And then when I went, I ran immediately to my rack of shoes, and my mother was so funny. She left me nothing but there's 99-cent Chinita sandals. That's all she left me, bro. And then I had to go to school like that with just those sandals. I literally cried, and I had to hustle so I could buy myself some Air Force Ones at least and rock those until I got more money to buy. But that's kind of when I stopped too. You know, I'm like, damn, you know. It's not, and then it kind of died off after a while, those buying and reselling. But it's amazing how you started it. So tell me a little bit about the group page you have for the shoes.
So yeah, there's this certain thing called cook groups, right, in New York City, right, where you have the main 3. Well, shout out to New York City Alert, New York City Notify, and Loop NYC.
You can find them at Instagram ff.f.nyc. I repeat, at f.f.nyc.
So my group, FNF, was a creation I did about 2 weeks ago, and it skyrocketed right after the Yeshaya Reflective release, where now we have approximately 90 to 95 members, and it is a free cook group. So we provide you with information regarding where to buy a shoe days before, weeks before, hours before.
Oh, this is about shoes, because you kept saying cook, and I'm saying, what do you
yeah,
cook?
It's weird. You know, there's certain terms in reselling that we use now, which you probably didn't use back then.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like, yeah, when you get a certain shoe, you know, people used to say, oh, I copped a pair of shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, oh, I cooked up 5 pairs. I cooked up 10. You know, I'm gonna loop this line. I'm gonna skip this line. You know,
you see?
There's like certain things that have just evolved in this game.
Just like those little codes.
Yeah.
Like little code names.
So my group, right, my cook group, F.FNF NYC, is short for Friends and Family NYC. The idea that I had was, you know, I know all this info. You know, I have people that, for me, that work at Foot Locker, that work at all these, you know, different stores, and they provide me with info, or I call up stores to get info. And I was like, you know what, why don't I create a group where I can provide, you know, kids, you know, that are, let's say, my age or younger, or maybe even adults that want to be in a group, that want to learn. You know, people that have never been into reselling, let them make some money, you know? Because it's so crazy how it is now. So I was like, I'll make a group, right? I could charge and make money for myself, or I could just make it free for now. So I decided to make a group grow, you have to have like a free trial. Mm-hmm. So I decided to make it free for now, and I provide probably pretty good info for people that are into this. And my group has had a lot of success, and yeah, you know, like just coming up with the idea was pretty hard. You know, what was gonna be my name? You know.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm having trouble having a podcast name as well. If you guys want to let me know any type of names, please drop a comment or let me know. DM me personally, because I'm not really good with names, and I don't want to steal people's names like Joe Rogan Experience. Come on, guys. I'm gonna get flamed for that. I'm gonna have a lot of memes about me. So
yeah, coming up with the name, I was like, what is one thing that just would probably attract people? And that was friends and family. You know, there's another code word in reselling where friends and family, you get certain info or you get certain pairs like backdoor, right? back door would be like for friends and family. So I was like, I'll name it friends and family. It's interesting. It could kick off. It may take some time. And I've worked pretty hard on this for the past 3 weeks. I've provided info. My members are clicking every release. Right now, I had members in all over the city, in Kith Brooklyn, Kith Soho, Adidas Spring Street, Adidas Fifth Ave, clicking up the new pair of Yeezy 700s, MVNM. They're really hard to pronounce. Right?
Tell me about this. One of these YouTubers, big YouTubers that you saw, and then you gave him a pair of limited Yeezys. Tell me about that, because I saw that very interesting, and it's probably for the fans as well, because like you do touch items that cannot be touched, which is very, it's crazy, and it's very rare. So tell me about that.
So that day they was supposed to release these new Yeezys, right? New model, completely new model. It was called the
and
Yeezy.
They look pretty good. I wanted to grab them, but
E700 AZLs. Those were probably, they're very limited. Many people that tried going for them didn't touch the item, and many people took L's. They didn't. I don't think they released on Adidas, if I'm trying to remember, but I know they released at certain Tier 0 stores like Kith. And I ended up entering a draw, which I can't say how. It's very disclosed of how I win. But I ended up winning the draw, and I got a size 11. And I was hyped. That's when I was still working at my job, and I saw the email, and I didn't believe it. I thought, oh my God, I actually kind of just won a Kith raffle for the first time in a while. So then my boys, I go with my boys that I met a couple months ago, and I was like, yo, you guys want to come with me to pick up these AZLs? They probably want to see it in person as well.
Yeah,
I was like, we could go together, So
even if you're not a sneakerhead, those look dope, bro.
Yeah.
They look very dope. It's like, I would wear them. I would have loved to get them.
They look like an alien shoes.
Yeah,
bro.
it's so like very, very, very unique. That's what I liked about them.
Like if you pull up my Instagram, you can see the shoes. I posted them because they're a very coveted release.
Instagram is at Douglas.jr_ at DOUGLAS.JR_.
So if you go through my feed, you'll most definitely find them there. And so one of my boys called up. He texted this YouTuber. He was like,
Do you remember his name?
Tom Stefanek. I don't know pronouncing his last name wrong, but shout out to him for buying my pair. He paid me.
Very happy customer, I can tell you that, guys.
He paid me a good amount of money, for the pair. I gave him a fair price too. Sometimes that's something I do.
Yeah, he does give fair prices, guys. I bought quite a few things from him. I bought the breads and some Supreme items from him. He does give a good price, and he comes to you. Well, for me, he came to me. So
yeah, so like I gave him a fair price, just like I do to everybody else.
Take care of you. He really takes care of you.
Like
really
no matter, I didn't care if he was a YouTuber. I was gonna up the price. Like if I set a price for you, right? I negotiated. My price is never firm. I was like, let's do $450. It's fair price. They were going for like $600.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do $450.
Yeah, it's like a steal. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I pretty much gave him a steal for them, and he was able to post them on his YouTube channel. So
and then you got exposed to there too as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
He posted the video.
That's very smart of you too, for you just to get as much exposure as you can, so then more people know about you, and then you're gonna get up there if you choose to go that way.
So he ended up posting the video, and then many people saw it. So I
saw it as well. I saw it on his YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it was crazy. I popped out. I'm like, that's my boy Douglas.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy for me too. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be on YouTube. Even if it was for like a slight minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got exposure. People know my face.
Exactly. That's a great thing to do in anything. So tell me tell me this. What was one of the first jobs you had growing up?
Well, when I first started back in April 2019, I copped two Supreme shirts online while I was at school. And I remember I was so hyped. I was like, my first items touched, and then turns out they were bricks. They had no money value whatsoever. So I had a struggle trying to sell them. It took me like a week to try to sell them. I ended up selling them to Lace Up in Queens. I had to get the money back. I ended up losing $10, which is an experience that most resellers have, and they are unexperienced. But then
you learn from your mistakes like everything else, yeah.
So then fast forward to a few weeks after I copped, my boy wanted some bread fours, right, some Jordans. And I was like, all right, I'll try my best to get them, right? I ended up getting them on Sneakers app, which is like the hardest way to get a sneaker, knowing that they were at Foot Locker and all these stores. I wasn't experienced, so I didn't know. Imagine if I didn't hit sneakers app,
Yeah.
I would have not fulfilled an order. Now that I realize it, I'm like, I was so dumb to like not know info. Just try sneakers app, which is the hardest way to cop a sneaker, and I ended up hitting his size, which was like crazy because I waited like 15 minutes to see if I won on the app.
It's like a raffle, right?
Yeah, it's like a raffle.
That's was one of the reasons why I stopped too. Like now, how it's raffles and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or like random. I have such bad luck in like raffles because I'm so bad at it. And any type of raffle, I automatically lose. Like I remember that one of my friends, she wanted to get makeup or like shoes. I tried it and it would say you got it, and then it said error, and then I didn't get it, and it dropped on me, and I was like, this is why I don't do this. This is why I got you, and this is why I got my resellers, so I don't do stuff like that. Because sometimes people don't. You have that luck as well. You have luck on your side for those type of things. Some people, like me, we just can't win those raffles, bro. It don't happen.
It's very disclosed information on how I win my raffles, because like I always kind of hit raffles.
Yeah, magician doesn't tell all their secrets, bro.
Yeah, I can't. Some things are very disclosed in this business that I can't say. But when you do hit raffles, you get hype. Because like you don't gotta wait in line for, let's say, one store in the whole city that has it.
Must feel good. How's that feeling when you know, hey, you know what, I got these shoes? What's like your first reaction? Like,
yeah, like
what do you tell?
Like I'm like, I see the email and I'm like, let's go. Like I don't have to go outside early and wait in line. Like I could just pick up my pair, pay for it, and go home and just relax.
That easy, yeah.
But sometimes I do have to hustle. Sometimes if there is a first come first serve, you gotta be there early because there's gonna be other people there.
Yeah.
Like on Friday.
I'm good at those first come first serve. Well, I don't do those for shoes or anything because I'm not very educated about how that works. But for fights, when I'm in when the UFC or MMA, any MMA organization like the Bellator, they're here. It's first come first serve. So if you're early there and you make it in line, sometimes you gotta run through people, hurdles. It's like a whole hurdle. It's a whole game. And then you get to be in the front to be able to talk to some journalists or people like Ariel Hawani, Helene Sports, the Schmo, or sometimes you could even talk to the fighters or interview them yourself and get a picture, get your shirt signed, and you're happy. And I ran into Ariel Hawani a bunch of times. I have a lot of shirts signed by various fighters, and I've got to also be on the UFC Embedded official UFC episode with interviewing Derek Lewis, and that was a very big experience. And it's good to have your name out there. It's good to talk and make yourself presentable, and people know about you more. The more you keep doing it, the more you keep growing. So that's a good thing.
I think just like putting yourself out there for anything, either if it's UFC or reselling, just putting yourself out there for whatever your passion is and getting those connections is very important to reaching your success. But most importantly, within yourself, you have to have that determination, that belief in yourself that you could do something when so many people could doubt you.
Yeah, doubt. A lot of people can try to doubt you, and many people like for example, if they people won't believe that, hey, you know what, why are you doing this, bro? Like you could just go get a regular job and you'll probably get the same amount of money. It's more stable, but sometimes you could be like, or you could, in your case, you could sell a $450 shoe and not even a week, bro, in like a day, and then you made more money than you would that whole week. So sometimes it works to your benefit, and you, especially now that you're more experienced and you're already mostly up there, you already know how it goes, so it's gonna be related to you. So you never really try to let those doubters lower you, because you already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're well experienced.
I realized that, when I started, I would just get one pair of shoes, which is nothing in reselling. Now, every release, I make sure I get at least 5 pairs or more, and I make myself almost a week worth of a 9 to 5. I think when you talk about 9 to 5, and I think about it, that $15 an hour is sort of not it,
Yeah, because many people say, just do this, but there are other scams out there too as well. Do that, and then it's like a whole. It gets very complicated. But yeah, I respect the hustle, and it's very interesting that doing it into this type of game right now that you're in it's insane. And what are your plans for the future? Do you still plan on doing this? Like, let me hear you.
Right now, my plans are to go to college. Mm-hmm. Right, I've gotten acceptance letters. And
which one do you want to go to?
Well, I would like to go to Fashion Institute of Technology, so I can learn how to design clothing and shoes, and maybe own my own business. Like reselling is always gonna be there, I don't think it's ever gonna die out, especially now that you have 13, 10-year-olds reselling
And
themselves.
you have various different brands and shoes
Yeah.
coming out. It's way better than before.
Like I think now it's like it's really not like many people have said, oh, reselling is gonna die out one day. I don't think it
believe
is.
so, yeah.
People are going crazy. Like just like I said, Friday
Yeah.
for those limited shoes in Harlem, over 100 people got shut down. Kith, over 100 people, but it somehow didn't get shut down. You know, like people are going crazy for these shoes. So either they're selling them or they're trying to buy them to wear. You know, like the average person cannot buy a pair of Yeezys. You know, before.
Yeah.
Now it's getting a little more able to, because like Yeezys aren't really profitable anymore just because they're coming out with so many colorways.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you see them at Foot Locker just sitting on the shelf now.
And I heard also because Kanye West, he wants to have them more available to more fans, and it works to his benefit, but to resellers it doesn't, right?
Doesn't. Like, yeah, like you can have a pair of Yeezys, but when you see a lot of the colors that are coming out, they're, no offense to Kanye, but they're not appealing. You know, they're very...
I do have to agree with you. Some of them, I'm not saying I love Kanye. I like his shoes, his style, some of his old school music, but some of them, yeah, you are right. Some of them aren't like, hey, bro, really? Or man, really? Did you really even try with this type of color, this type of wave? Really, like this type of design?
Yeah, like he's coming out with this new collection, right?
But he still is making his money, so respect to him.
Yeah, respect to Kanye, but you know, we as a public, even if you're not a reseller, we expect a better shoe. You know, like he's coming out with this whole spring collection. He's dropping like 10 different colors and Yeezys, and a lot of the colors are, no offense, very ugly. You know, you have like brown, gray, like very dull colors that are just basic, and it's just like, there's no creativity on the sneaker, which is something that
it's like very, it's not work that much. It's a kind of sloppy creativity by the team. Come on, Kanye.
So, yeah, you know, going back, like college, learning the business, learning how to make my own business is probably one I would like to do, as well. You know, study journalism. You know, because especially like I look at politics a lot. I'm involved in that.
You're gonna love speech class. When you take that speech class, you're gonna love it. I have a speech class right now. I attend BMCC, and it's such a wonderful class. I always look forward to go to that class. I love all my classes except for math. I'm not very good at math and numbers, but every class, like my English class, speech class, criminal justice class, you talk about many different topics, and it's very interesting, like to the mind, and you just opens up and you see different views that you wouldn't think about. So you're gonna enjoy that one.
Probably am, yeah. Because you know, when you go to college, you don't want to like do something you're not gonna like to do. You gotta really think about what your passion is before you actually go out and do something. Like, you know, people like parents especially, they say, like, I've had times where my mom has told me, you know, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be a lawyer, and I kind of laugh. You know, not in disrespect, but just the point is just like, that's not what I want to do. You know, like I have my own aspirations, my own dreams, where I want to accomplish them.
And this what you're talking about right now. This is all ties into my speech class, because they also talk about how parents or family members or races, they force you to say, hey, no, you can't do this, like the norms, the social norms. You know, we want you to do this, or the racial norms, like, hey, you know, you're from here and we want you to be a doctor and do this. They really go into depth with that, and it's so amazing how, like, wow. You're gonna love that class. It's gonna blow your mind.
I feel like just
you're not gonna want to leave.
Yeah.
I'm there for like 2 hours, and then like later on, like when we finish the class, we're like, oh my god, it's been like 2 hours 45 minutes, about 3 hours. We stay there even longer because we're like, this professor is so interesting, and we don't. It's like the conversation goes, and nobody is not interested. We're all interested. All eyes on him. All ears open. We're ready.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize things you have to go through. You know, like they look at me and they think, you know, I'm a reseller, I look happy, I'm always smiling, but like they don't know the things I go through personally, you know, like it's very stressful, very mentally stressful, you know, like when I was reselling, working, going to school, which I still am doing the same things. There's people that admire me, like people in school that tell me, yo, you know, Douglas is always getting the money, he's always chasing the bag, he's doing these big things, you know. People in school admire me, and my girlfriend tells me that too. You know, people now in school like.
How does she feel about that? How does she feel about this whole thing? Was she there when you first started reselling shoes and everything?
She's been with me for 2 years, and she was with me when I had $5 in my pocket. So
It's a real one, man.
yeah, you could say she's
You
a
got
real one.
You got a good one out there. I hope you guys last, make it happen. You know.
So I really like, I appreciate her a lot because like I do go through things like just mindfully, stressfully, that sometimes it's like you just want to give up, but like you know that drive, that mentality just doesn't let you give up. So like no matter like how many mistakes or L's you can take in life, you know yourself, you can just get right back up. You know, what I'm saying like people don't know.
How long does it take you? So if you say you take an L or something dramatic happens to you, how does that affect your mood, and what do you do to bounce back? What are your little secrets to bounce back from taking an L, not getting the shoe, or something hitting you out of nowhere, and then you're like, damn, I don't really want to do these anymore. I don't want to resell them more. Like, how do you bounce back and pick yourself up?
Yeah, like I think like moving on from shoes, just life in general. When something just hits you, you just want to like look at the positive side of it. Don't look at the negative. Like think, okay, this happened for a reason. Like there's always a reason something happens in life to you, either for better or for worse. So you gotta think positive. Like let's say I get in a fight with my girlfriend. I think, okay, well, there's a reason this happened, so I gotta think positive to fix it and move on and be better. Like you always have to want to be successful. Like never settle for less. Like always want to be more successful than you already are. Like I remember I told somebody one time, oh, I made $500 this week, but like I want more. Like I don't think that's enough.
Exactly.
Like I want to achieve more success.
You don't want to just hit the point and just always keep it there.
Yeah.
You want to keep raising up the bar.
Yeah, like I feel like when you look at Mark Zuckerberg, entrepreneurs like that, like Steve Jobs, you look at them and you're like, they say the same thing. Like they might have invented this project, but like for them it's like they want to achieve more success. Like that's the mindset I think most people need to have in this world, is like don't settle for like little things. Like, well, be great is what I'm saying. Be unique and go out there and chase your dreams.
I respect that a lot, and I do agree 100%. So let's talk about your soccer career. What happened? I know. So guys, just a little background story. Me and Douglas, we used to be on FC Stars together with a lot of great friends, a lot of great guys. We had a good run, bro.
Yeah,
we were one of the best
did.
defenders, midfielders, and we were unstoppable. Our defense and midfield defense and center mid defense was, you guys couldn't get past us. We were a really, really good team. We loved working with each other. This is how we met, just playing soccer in the same team later on. They brought him over. We instantly connected. It was such a great experience, brother. Like I miss those times. I reminisce, and I remember how they just shut it down, right? They said no more, right?
I think like right now, like I played high school soccer, right? I played academies.
And what position are you playing now?
Right now, like I play all over. I could play on a wing, on midfield, on defense. Like we play together, but mainly on the wing. Remember, I always play on the wing. So I'm like debating if I do want to play college soccer, just because I know like the stress you go through playing high school soccer, everyday practice and all that.
You're a junior, senior now?
Senior.
Are you any in talks for the scholarship? Because people might not think it's true, because people say what they say, they run their mouth. But when I was at LIC, one of my first years I was there, I came in as a suspended transfer student. So I came in LIC. But before that, just I'm gonna quickly fresh it up. When I was a freshman in my first ever high school for applied communications, and that school had Bard High School and Bard or Stuyvesant High School, one of them, and they had Finance and Enterprise High School. So it was 3 high schools and only had 1 soccer team, because there was only 1 floor of a high school. So all 3 floors of soccer players had to try out, and then I tried out with my friend Juan. I forgot your last name, but shout out to Juan from High School Applied Communications. As one of my good friends. I've seen him a few times around Corona when I go there, and we both went, and then we both made it on the team, and I was the first freshman to ever make it on the team and be a starter. So I was starting my freshman year back then I was a right midfielder, but I played more attacking and creating plays than defending, because I was faster, I was more fit that time. And I was just all about soccer. And I would train every single day. When I was at home, I would just dribble the ball everywhere outside the building. When I would walk my dog, I would bring my ball along and just dribble. And then the coach told me, hey, you're gonna make it you're on the team. You're starting. I'm like, wow, really? She's like, yeah, you're the first freshman to ever start. And I'm like, that's great. And then later on, for my mistake, not even my mistake, I got for disclosed reasons, I got suspended. And then they wanted to like take me to court and everything and all this whole situation. And then I ended up not going to jail or nothing. I ended up getting suspended. I got suspended in my high school. Then they sent me to a suspension center. They sent me to Wagner, suspension in Wagner. But then I had a little meeting to see if they could take away my suspension or not. I went back to the school, and the school basically they were sexist, they were racist.
Mm-hmm.
High school black communication. It's in LaGuardia College,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the teachers were white, redneck. And then they told me, hey, you're not gonna come back. We want you to come back, but after your time is due, after your suspension days. And then they told me, well, all I cared about is I had my soccer gear, my whole big Nike bag and my soccer, and I had my soccer shirt. I'm like, but can I still play? I was very ignorant because I knew I did nothing wrong. So I was like, but can I still play on the team? I know sometimes they make exceptions that you can still play, and they said no. And the coach started crying, and she was a female. She was like, you ruined it. Like, you could have had it, and then and then I ruined my chances. After all the suspension schools, I went to Jamaica, then I went to Linden, and then I went to Jamaica Sufton. After then my time, they sent me to LAC. I was in a soccer team, but because I was a transferred suspension student, my credits weren't good. So I was in the team, but I barely played. And then my senior year, I played again. And then it was me and this other kid, I won't say his name. Both of us went to talk for the scholarship for soccer. And then they told me whoever has the higher average would get it. Obviously, I was getting it because I had 90s and up, and my average almost hit a 92. But then my coach at that time, he wanted me not to go to class to go to a play, but I couldn't do that because I wanted my extra AP psychology class. And then later on, the team started taking too many L's, and then it was looking bad.
Yeah,
and why my team was on losing streak for 2 years. So it was very frustrating for me. And then he just picked favorites. He kept picking the same people he picked last year that would lose every single game. So I said, this is like, basically what I want to say is soccer mostly, it's like, in like the levels that you want to go to, it really is on wealth and politics, I believe. And many people will agree, because
I agree.
If you don't have your big name or you don't have the right connections, you just won't get it. People that have, maybe they know the coach, or they're wealthy, or they have a good connection, like, hey, you know what, yeah, you're in. And they chose that, most the people that they preferred over, people who actually worked hard and were there earlier to practice and were there later to practice because they really wanted it. That's not how that coach worked. So me and other teammates went on strike. We quit, and then they were on a losing streak. They had to they weren't able to play games because they didn't have the players. So yeah, I was almost there, but I didn't get it because due to all those situations. But
yeah,
are you in any talks for that scholarship? Because I know you're a really good player. Not to gas you really are. You play by my side as a defense.
Like right now, I don't know. It's like I told you, there's a certain point where I feel like in soccer, it gets too stressful. They put that pressure on you, just practice every day and all this, and it's I know I could get a scholarship, but it's I have problems with my coach too. He would put me in positions where I knew I wasn't good enough, but I tried my hardest.
Exactly. It's not even sometimes. What I don't like is there has to be different coaches, or something has to change with this sports wise, because you don't really want someone that's flashy or looks good. You need someone that has the mentality to put in the hard work. The hard work counts way more over if you're a naturally good player. If you just put in more hard work than that guy, obviously you'll beat him due to hard work. And even on your worst days, if you put in the hard work, you're most definitely gonna top that talented or that star player that everyone has in their team.
Yeah, even if I don't get to get a scholarship for college soccer, I know I'm still gonna be able to try out for that college that I get accepted to.
So you want to go to try out for the college soccer team?
That's a great idea. Even I'm doing reselling. I have a job. I have to go to college. But if I can be in that pressure bubble to do all those things at once in my life, and I can still do soccer, right? Because high school is the same thing as college. Everyday practice, games, 2 weeks, sometimes
on top
once.
of all that schoolwork,
Yeah,
you just have to have from experience, you just have to have good time management. To be honest, time management and just you're gonna crash sometimes. You're gonna be like, oh my god, this is too much. Or I didn't really plan this out, or the time I didn't really have a good time frame. It happens, but you're gonna learn from it. Cause now my second semester, my time frame is way better than what I had. It's so perfect, and the thing is, I overworked myself. I put way too much on my back, so I would crumble and fall many times. But yeah, I feel like just want to give you a heads up. That's what you're gonna have to do. Good time management, and then you're gonna get through it, bro. You probably gonna get that scholarship as you want too, cause the college that I'm in, they don't. I think they have soccer, but I didn't know when they were doing that tryout thing. I wasn't well informed. I might try out next semester, or if not, when I transferred to John Jay or another college, I actually want to do wrestling as well or boxing because I think they have that as well. Because quick story, when I was a junior or senior year in LIC, Long Island City High School, I wanted to do that, and then the coaches told me, "Wow, like you're really good for my weight class." And I'm not AWK. I'm toned, we're just toned guys, and I'm pretty good. I have that reach. I have that perfect height. They were like, "You look great." And then back then I had financial problems. I was with my father, and I told my father, "Hey, the coaches want me on the team." He's like, and then I asked him, "Can you help out, chip in, so you can help me pay for like the gear and everything for the high school gear, because you need the gear, you need the cuff, the singlet, the headgear." And then no, I really can't. And then I wasn't mad obviously because if you can't, you can't. It's financial problems. So I went home. I went to my coach the next day, my wrestling coach, and I told him, "Hey, I don't know if I can because I really can't afford it, honestly." And he's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, he was such a nice guy. You need more people like that in the world. He told me everything he was gonna get from me, but I just had to keep practicing, and then I was all in. And then later on, my dad told me, you have to help me, work more, a little bit, help out at the house. So, I had to kind of drop my sports and training a lot because, financially we couldn't afford the housing or eating. So obviously that's a necessity. Having a roof over your head and eating is a necessity. So I had to drop the sports that I love, both soccer and wrestling, to help out, which I'm not mad at. It happens. It's normal. So to me, I don't have no type of hate. It's just that, wow, if things were better, I could have actually had a shot. I'm not saying I would have done it. I would have said I had a shot to at least become maybe a state wrestler or had at least a scholarship. I know I could have had a scholarship for my weight class, 125 flyweight or 135. I could have had a shot, but again, it's never too late. You're in college. I'm gonna try it in college when I come into John Jay. I'm gonna try it again, and you just don't stop trying. Cause this year, I kept doing MMA, training at the gym, having regular spars with different people that don't know much about sparring too. Like they would try to spar me. They don't understand. It's so complicated, And I had people say, "You're really great. You're amazing." People that were well educated about it, and then there were people that said, "Oh no, I did this to you. You're not good." I'm like, and they want a hard spar. Hard sparring, you can't really be doing that every single time. Professionals, they don't hard spar. They hard spar once or twice before a fight, a real professional fight. You don't do that every day. It messes up your head. You get that CTE. You just change. It takes a lot of you. And luckily, one of my ex-girlfriend's friend, his name is Edward. He's a good friend of mine. I know you're gonna watch this. Thank you. He talked to one of his homies. I think I'm gonna pull him up. Angelo Escobar. His Instagram is Angelo Escobar, and he's a fighter. He's gonna be. So his Instagram is @Angelo Escobar, ANGELOESCOBAR _. So he's a fighter, an athlete. I think he's a coach for Tiger Schumann. He had a few fights already, and him and my friend Edward talked about me because I train a lot. I've met fighters. I trained with some fighters, and he's like, "Hey, he's interested in me." So he's like, so right now he's injured. He's healing up, but he's like, soon we're gonna practice together, and soon he might. And in my mind, I'm thinking ahead. I like to. It works in my benefit, and sometimes it's negative, overthinking. So sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I do train hard enough, if I put in the work, I might surprise him, or I might have something in him look at me and be like, oh my God, he has something I like. He might put me onto a fight. But yeah, I have that goal of having that one fight this year. So I'm so psyched for that.
Yeah, man. If you really want something, like I said before, chase it.
Yeah, you as well, bro. Don't stop that soccer. I obviously had to stop due to financial problems, and you obviously had to stop for the other problems. But you can never say that it's too late. That's the thing.
You know, like I know, like as little, like, you have that dream to go pro, but now I realize that it's like, do I really want to do it? You know, like like it's like
That's what you have to bounce
it's like
back
you know
to.
like
Mm-hmm.
like do I really want to do it? When I look at business, I'm like, you know, like I feel like not everything is everything is controlled by money in this country.
Yeah.
So like it's you need to have financial stability. So I'm like, I'd rather just go to college, study. Like I said, my dream college, you could say, is FIT down on the west side. You know, like, you know, shout out. You know, you could accept me. You know, I'm a great student. But
What's your average looking like?
right now I have like cumulative average 85.
35. All right. That's how you're gonna end it though. That's how it's gonna end, like all together.
I think it rises at the end of this end semester, but like right now I'm doing pretty great.
Yeah,
like,
it's 85 not
I have
that
like if you're not counting
Did you-
all 4 years, I have a
Did you
96
take
average.
your SAT yet?
Yeah, I took that.
A funny story, bro. I had decent grades. It was kind of complicated because, you know, and I had a rough start. You know, I got suspended and everything. I was a bad kid, young, but I matured, obviously. Thank God I did, and I saw a lot of things I didn't want to see, but it made me better. So I kind of had the messed up average, but then junior, I had like a 90 plus average, and then senior year I had my average was also up there. But the thing is, when I also took my SAT, the funny story is, so I'm like, let me have a good meal, you know. I was taking a test and I had a BLT, right? No, not even that. I bought a naked. So you know what the drink naked makes you want to do when you drink that. I automatically had to go to the bathroom and I was stuck there almost the whole test. So I was like, man, I was just sitting there like, damn, man, like, wow, if I didn't really drink this naked, I could have had a shot. Like, I messed up my SAT because I had to go to the bathroom, bro. I couldn't control it. Like, I felt like if I stayed there longer, I was gonna explode. I felt like I was gonna explode. But no, and then I messed it up again myself. I had a shot to retake because you get to retake it again.
Yeah.
I messed it up too. I chose to work over than take my SAT because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just, you know, just go to a regular college and I'm gonna just transfer. Because also, I'm like, whatever, you know, the financial aid and the ASAP program is gonna help me these years, and then I'm just go straight there. It's cool. And let me see what I really want. Like, let me see how the classes I want to pursue will affect me, and if I really like it or not, or if I change my mind. Because many people do change their minds. Luckily, I wanted to do criminal justice. I still want to do criminal justice. I like it. It was very interesting to me. I like writing, like journalism. You do a lot of writing and like your own views, and like you just mix it up, do your own research. That's what it kind of is like. So it ties to me and my skill of writing and journalism and everything. So, and speech, and you get to talk. So it all ties in with what I like, and it's so interesting. So thank God I got in it. I'm so good. I'm great. Yeah, good luck to you. Well, what colleges you got accepted to so far?
So far I got sent to College of Staten Island and Queensboro.
I'm saying it's kind of far, bro. Like that little ferry ride is gonna take a while, right?
I mean, my parents are the same thing, but so far if that's what I have to go to, I'm gonna go to it. You know, like, yeah, like community college, it's a start, but I feel like I'm just so knowledgeable. Why would I go to community college when I have the grades to go to 4-year college, like right off the bat?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I could do it. Like I
You
know
should
I'm
apply
able
for
to.
ASAP, brother, because that helps you pay for your books, your MetroCard for free for the whole semester, and I think they help you pay your classes as well. Because I got that. The only downside is that you gotta meet your counselor once a month and a group session once a month. That's probably it. Everything else, you're great, bro. I'm chilling. I got that MetroCard. I go where I want. I was feeding for the MetroCard. I'm like, man, I really need this MetroCard, bro. I'm broke. I don't want to keep jumping the style. I'm like, I need that MetroCard.
Yeah, it adds up.
It adds up. The money adds up, and you keep seeing it, the negatives, you know, the money coming out, and you're like, man, if I had that MetroCard and I finally got it, I'm like, oh, thank God I got this MetroCard. Now I could, you know, balance my money out more, have some more money in my pocket.
Yeah, I think things like financially, you gotta like budget yourself. I feel like something like I started learning already. It's how to budget my money, to able to afford certain things that I need to afford. You know, it's just things like that. That you just gotta like be able to just take responsibility for yourself not going out into like starting college, going out into the real world. Just learning responsibilities you have to take.
Exactly.
Which a lot of people my age probably don't have the responsibilities that I have already.
And it's crazy too because I like this about you too as well, bro. You started working at an early age as well, and you hustled early, and you just matured at a very, very early age that most people do not know, and most people do not just mature at that age. It's just impossible for some people. They always think they have that spoon to their mouth, or they don't have that mentality level that we do. So we kind of are a step ahead. We already know what's going on. We already know how it's gonna be, and like we don't when we're putting outside in the real world, we're not scared. We're like, I'm used to it. We know what to do. We know we gotta hustle. We know we gotta work.
The key to it also is just staying humble. Like
Always stay humble.
Stay rooted to the ground. Like you can dream, but just know that it's gonna take hard work to get there. Like like if I know that if I do hopefully get accepted into FIT, I'm gonna have to work my ass off in that school.
Yeah, you want to have those good grades. You don't want to drop that.
Yeah.
So you gotta look good. You're gonna look really good for that.
I mean, I think I have a chance getting in there because it is prominently a female-dominated school.
Oh,
so,
just one of those. Yeah, because nowadays, one of my teachers, he told me that it's like a fact as well that there's more women graduating universities than men, which is very interesting to me. Because now it's like, okay, so we gotta step up our game up, bro. We can't let them win,
Yeah, like in history it is it's a fashion school. Most men don't apply to a fashion school. But like
nowadays, everything's changing.
Yeah, everything is changing.
Yeah, I had this coworker, Dakota. Shout out to Dakota. She was also in fashion school, and like now she has like this fashion type job. I'm gonna see if I can hook you up with her. I'm gonna talk to her soon. Tell her what's up with that, cause she said it was a pretty cool place. So I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, because
she's big on that too. I have a lot of people big on that. Oh, my friend, what's his name? I forgot his name already. I work with him. He's one of my coworkers. He has his own. He has his own brand of like shirts and stuff and sweats and for men and women. It's called Verdome. I won't talk about it much today because I'm gonna have him soon for this podcast. Bring his own material and everything.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
That's something I'm trying to do. Is like when I resell, is like it's fun, right? But I would love to have my own business.
Yeah, he makes his own. He makes his own product. Everything from scratch. He makes everything from his own.
I would love to go like be the next Kith.
Exactly.
Be the next Supreme. Be unique. Like like just like have my own style and reminisce it. Like like let's say
I'm gonna see if we can hook it up next time over here with my boy and all three of us talk about it because he's really big on that as well. He does it a lot.
I mean, I think
he has his name out there too.
Shout out to J Balvin with that collab with Air Jordan, man. That collab with Air Jordan is big. It's pretty history making, and I feel like it just inspires me more. Like I want to have my own Air Jordan. Make my own.
Of course, bro. Even Neymar did it. Soccer player, he had his own collab with Jordan and Nike. Everyone could do it. It's just how hard you're willing to work and not give up.
I think that's something you just gotta keep the mindset to. Just keep working for what you want, no matter what happens.
All right, guys. So I think we reached the end of our Alejandro's podcast. I'm very happy. My nerves went away. I'm very comfortable. I just want to give a shout out again. Thank you, Douglas Garcia, for coming and being such a great friend and giving me support in my first ever podcast. I want to pull up his Instagram at Douglas.junior_ at DOUGLAS.junior JR_ and his other Instagram f.f.nyc. You can follow him both there. Check him out, guys, please, and he can hook it up with anything. I also want to thank my film crew, Alan Malpartida by Cinemat. He's a film editor. Let me give you guys his Instagram at Alan to the Alan Malpartida at ALANTOTHEALANMALPARTIDA. And then my other friend, Kevin Cortez, one of my old friends from high school, from LIC, really close. His IG is at Bevin Cortez, at BEVINCORTES. Kevin Cortez, or his Facebook, Kevin Cortez, KEVIN space CORTES. And for the last one, homie, Nathan dot ML. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, brother. His Instagram is at NATHAN dot EMELLE. Once again, at NATHAN dot EMELLE. You can find me on Instagram at papi.alejandro, at PAPI dot Alejandro. If you can't spell that, I don't know what to tell you. It's like the easiest name to spell. So I'd like to thank my crew, my team, my good old friend here, Douglas. You have anything else to say, brother?
I just want to thank you for having me here, the crew for having me here. And if you guys, for those that have the Instagram ready, plug through this interview. I want to say Air Jordan, women's are coming out on Friday. If anybody needs a pair, DM me.
What's the release date?
February 14,
February 14.
Valentine's Day.
You restate your ID again.
You guys can add me, DM me at Douglas.junior_, DOUGLAS.JR_. You guys will you can see all my success. You can see I'm a legit seller. And, I have fair prices. Ask me anything. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, guys. It's Douglas Garcia and Alejandro Marchena from the Alejandro Podcast. Thank you so much. Nice to have you, brother.
You too.